Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is another Technical Alpha podcast. December the 11th, 2025. Glad you could join us today. Let me get myself situated here real quick. Bada bing. Bada boom. My camera's all friggin'. What are we doing here? It's a little better. Yeah, got another great show lined up for you as always. Glad you could join us today, whether you're live or you're catching us from or at work. We're getting up. We're getting close to the Christmas season, and I'm sure lots of people are now counting the days feverishly to the point in which they no longer have to hop into the office. I'm sure that is more than likely the case. We are also on the day of the Game Awards. That it is tonight. And so lots of the would-be game news that likely could have happened this week is going to happen in about 6 hours from now. And so next week we will have lots of bits from the show to talk about, I'm sure. At the very least, we'll be able to do a little recap and talk about the winners and whatnot as we would normally. But before we get started with everything that people have been posting over on patreon.com/lagtv, everyone, by the way, will remind you that is in on it for $1 or more every single week before the podcast, put up a post where you can post your news requests and your tech support questions, and we roll the show off the cuff from there. It's what we do best around here. It's how we built Lag TV from the ground up. Zero plans. All off the top of the dome. But before we get started, Mr. Black, most important question of the week. How was your week?
How was my week? It was just another week. No highs, no lows. Just another week. Been actually doing a fair amount of relaxing this last week. I'm not gonna
Marvelous.
Lie. Yeah.
That's a good time. I've been doing the opposite of that.
That's pretty much it.
I'm just fucking balls to the wall constantly. The closest thing to downtime I have is a couple hours at the end of the day where I'm streaming inadvertently or not inadvertently, but just whenever I've got some time. Because otherwise, I mean, fuck me. So full, as we discussed a couple weeks back now, full license now for the old real estate. That is done and dusted. I have paid $600 billion into 47 different pockets to ensure that I am allowed to exist on this planet to sell real estate here. And the best part about it is that it rolls over into January, and so there are several fees that I've literally paid that will immediately roll back and need to be paid again next month.
Great.
Because nothing in anything can ever be, if it's a yearly thing, it can't just be when you from the date in which you joined in. So really, if you're wondering, if you're anywhere, because this will work similarly anywhere in the country of Canada, if you ever wanted to get into this shit, here's the game plan, all right? Aim to get everything done by the middle of June. And then wait for July to roll over. And then fucking blitz the shit out of it all at once. Pay everything in July. And then you're not getting like double fucked towards year end, which is what, is happening to me here. But there's nothing I can really do about it. It's just the way the fucking cards fall on the table sometimes. And this week has just been endless onboarding. And I'll keep it a buck. The process is a hot mess. It's a fucking hot mess. Not necessarily just the onboarding into my brokerage, but the onboarding into the system, because you're part of the Realtors Association provincially and nationally, and every one of those things has like 50,000 fucking accounts and 63,000 passwords, and like as soon as you join, it was like the day that I joined, or the afternoon after, my inbox slammed with like everything came in at once, and not in an order that makes sense, in the sense that like there were things that I needed to get done, and it was just dispersed amongst all this fuckery, because you get sent out, like your email gets sent out to like affiliates of the broker, or the various affiliates of the the NSAR, or CREA and shit like that. It's just like you get blown the fuck up. And you're just juggling like a thousand fucking logins and redos and new email setups, and none of it is organized well whatsoever. So that's been my week, has been trying to weed through all of that, put some sort of order to it that I can try to like get through it in the order in which it's supposed to happen, and kind of wrap up as much of this stuff as I can before Christmas hits. And it becomes difficult to do it because, obviously people will not be in the office as much or at all, things of that nature. So I'm just fucking mad dash. Yesterday I was a mixture of like I don't even think it was a mixture. I was just angry the whole day. I was just sitting there angry the whole fucking day, because there was some stuff that, when you're doing what Mr. Black and I, have done for 15 years, you are working for yourself, and you're technically doing that in real estate to a degree. You are your own boss, but there are aspects of all of this that you still require other people to. You don't have full autonomy anymore, and I already hit that wall on like day one, and I was just seething the whole time, just like, I need to get this done. I don't have time to wait for some random person to see this email, or like call them and like hope that they get the message at some point in the day or whatever. And so it's just been, I'm sure it would be just as fucked, but it would at least be nicer if it wasn't all at the end of the year, all trying to happen at the same time. But we'll get there. We'll sort it out. But until it's sorted out, my stress level is going to be 9 million fucking degrees above where it is normally, to get it all settled. Other than that, that's been my week. It's literally been that, and then streaming when I have a chance. I've been playing Morrowind the last couple of streams. I felt like I wanted to get a little nostalgia in, before the Christmas season. Been having a good time playing that again, and just trying to keep my head above water. It's just, woo! Let me tell you,
Yep.
wild times out here in these streets.
Adulting, it's fun.
It's a fun time. Let me tell you.
You know what else is fun?
What's that?
NordVPN.
Oh,
you guys should
hit
go grab it. You guys should go and grab a subscription. Stay safe. Stay anonymous on the internet. Watch different regions of Netflix and other streaming services at the click of a button. It's the perfect holiday gift. Bet you didn't think about that. Get your family members, your friends, whomever, an internet condom with NordVPN. You got to be protected out there. The internet's a crazy place. They're out there to try and steal your information, trying to hit you with malicious ads and sites that are going to, gobble up your cookies like the Cookie Monster, spy on what you're doing. Hey, not today. Mask that IP. Don't matter if you're at home. Doesn't matter if you're traveling. It doesn't matter where you are. You can use NordVPN anywhere, anytime, on virtually any device. iOS, Android, Mac, PC, your laptop, your iPad. It don't matter. You can use up to 10 simultaneous devices all on one account. 30-day money-back guarantee. If you don't like it for any reason at all, get your money back within 30 days, no questions asked. And you get a 74% off plus 4 extra months when you use our link. They have threat protection that runs in the background of your PC to make sure you're not going on those malicious sites. They're going to warn you They also have dark web, where there will be a notification when your information gets leaked on the dark web. They're going to let you know who the leaker is. And as Adam said last week, it's virtually everybody at this point. You need to know. And they'll let you know what email is being leaked, what information is being leaked. So go get it. It's less than half a cup of coffee a month at Starbucks. Get that dark web protection. Get that. What else do they have, Adam? There's some other stuff. Get threat protection.
They got it all.
I can't sell this anymore, Adam.
You can't. There's no. All you need to know.
No way
is
what,
that
what else?
They've got your classic VPN shenanigans with more than enough simultaneous connections to keep you going. You got the threat protection. You've got. I think they have a password manager now. If you're into that game. It's becoming more and more of a kind of an all-in-one, one-stop shop internet security, solution. And in these trying times, there are more and more people that can make use of their services to just operate semi-normally on a day-to-day basis. And if you're lucky, you might be able to VPN out of your country so you can still use the Calibri font before it becomes illegal.
There you go. I didn't even think about that. So there you have it. All right. Selling out hard right now. NordVPN. Go check them out. Use our link and enjoy. That's it. That's it. That's
oh my God. The world's a crazy place. We all know this. But some of these headlines that I read, my first instinct is I have to look to see if it's like The Onion or some shit. Like, I need to see if it's like a parody website because the headlines have gotten so surreal and weird that I have to know. And unfortunately, I've been losing a lot because every time I want it to be fake, or not fake in the sense that but like a parody, like it's making light of this. I need a little joke here in my life. Unfortunately, it's been real like every damn time for quite some time now. And when I saw that they were literally considering at least within government use down south of the border of the font Calibri or that's how you pronounce it, I think, which is the default font in Microsoft Word for like a long while now. Way back in the day it was Times New Roman and it's Calibri. They're saying Calibri is DEI woke like propaganda font, and so they're thinking of banning Calibri. And I read that headline and I went, no, no, stop. There's no chance that a human adult said those words out loud and is proposing that like stop. Unfortunately, it was real. So what can you do? Calibri, keep your woke hands off my Microsoft Word, you dirty bitch. We're going back to Times New Roman. Going straight back to the serif fonts all over again. If my letters don't have tails, get out. Need them in my life. Let's see what the folks at home have set us up with this week, Mr. Black. Let's see what we've got. First up, coming in hot and heavy from Dixie Normus.
Oh.
Best and worst money ever spent.
Oh man, worst money ever spent?
I bought the Ouya.
Okay.
So that's definitely the fucking worst money I've ever spent.
My worst money I've ever spent, I bought a and I still have it. It's in my bedroom. One of the Echelon bike instructor classes type thing. You get on a bike.
Got you. Yeah,
and they have
like
live classes that you can join people. Back before I had dietary issues and I was feeling a little pudgy. And I was like, I got a treadmill at home, but I kind of just want a bike. Something a little different. I put that on. It was like a $50 a month subscription. You got like 1 month free, and then I forgot to cancel it, and I got absolutely reamed.
Oh my
Like
god.
3 months in, I used it once, and it's
50.
literally been in my bedroom, and it has been a sweater holder for about 2.5, 3 years.
$50 a month.
Bro,
Damn.
and I bought it used for like $1,200. Because I wanted to get a Peloton, but
Yeah.
they don't have Peloton here.
Yeah, it's a different
So
thing here.
I ended
Yeah.
up getting like an Echelon, which is basically the same thing, but it was a complete and utter waste of money. I almost sold it. I had it up for sale, and then somebody was like haggling too much. I said, "All right, fuck this. I ain't playing no games. Just take the ad down. I'll keep it as my sweater holder." That's the dumbest money I ever spent. The best money I ever spent buying StarCraft 2.
Oh, StarCraft 2
Best.
or Brood War? Because Brood War was like the spark, right? Like StarCraft 2 came up.
Mm.
Or no, I mean, going back further, the best money ever spent renting
Renting
StarCraft
StarCraft
64.
64. Yeah, that's the best money, and it wasn't even my money. It was my parents' money. My mom gave me the money. So the best money. I mean, I still spent it. So
Of
yeah,
course.
I'll go with that because I mean, it shaped my entire life. So I got to go with that. It's not a lot of money. That game might have cost me $5 to rent, for a weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. I was trying to think of that the other day. I was like, how much was a weekend? You could get a full week at like Blockbuster for $5 back in the
Yeah, it
day.
was cheap. Yeah, it was pretty cheap.
Yeah. Like
Yeah, like
weekend
new
rentals
releases
for
would
like
cost a little more.
$3 or something like that.
Yeah, like new releases, they cost a little bit more, but if you were getting stuff that was like sort of a little bit older, you could get stuff dirt cheap, man. Dirt cheap. I mean, back then it'd be no different than probably renting something for like, $12 now or something, right? Like
Yeah,
from
exactly.
an
Yeah.
inflation standpoint.
Yeah.
But, back then, $5 will get you a movie or a game or something along those lines, and
For like a
depending
week.
on what special. And then they also had like, rent two get one free. Like they had different
Yeah, yeah,
things
yeah.
going on, and then they had coupons that would come out in the mail that you could get where they would give you X amount of dollars off of your rental, or if you rented a movie, then you can get one free, or they had different things like that.
Yeah, yeah. Man, renting was fire. Renting was
Super fire.
I feel like there has to be, to some degree, we must be moving to a point where things are so expensive, like the theater, even just owning movies physically now, things of that nature. The cost of Netflix and other services just continuously fucking like catapulting. There's got to be, and there are still, like there are some privately owned ones like around Halifax that still do movie rentals and stuff. But yeah, man, I mean, holy shit, it's crazy, and we'll probably talk about the Netflix and some of the other things, because I know there's a question at least one person asked about is going to be asking about the ongoing shenanigans here, in the in the streaming space, I guess if you want to call it that. For me, so worst money, I mean, as a joke, it's definitely the Ouya. There's probably something bigger that cost more money that was a really bad purchase, but nothing really like nothing crazy is jumping to the front of mind. I will say that the easiest thing for me to say is the best money I ever spent, which was my car. I mean, it's that my fucking hybrid RAV4 from 2016 is I have not it is so it's almost 10 years old now. I have not done anything but regular maintenance the whole time. Zero issues of any kind. And like
Well, you
doesn't
better
matter
start
what I've
knocking
done to
on
it.
some wood, man. You better knock on a little bit of wood here, bro.
No, I ain't worried a lick, bro. They got people out on in with the my model with like 500K on it before they started having to
Dream.
do any work, and I'm at like I just crested 100. So like I got I'm good for a long while. Like I just it's crazy how good, and like again, like the other thing is that Like, how catastrophic would it have to be before it would no longer make sense to pay that money and get a new vehicle? Because
Yeah.
even if like, let's say something horrible happened, like I had to replace the entire battery, because that would be the first thing likely to go on this thing would be the battery. And so far, the battery gets up basically 90%, 85% full. So it's old, but it hasn't affected my gas mileage yet, like, because it's still charging enough. But like, let's say we do that. It's a nickel, it's a NiCad battery because it's back from 2016. I think it cost me like on a high end, $4,000 on like the absolute tits. And so unless you're talking about like a transmission or some crazy stuff,
Yeah.
let's say it cost me $5,000 to replace whatever the hell goes wrong with it. I could put that on a line of credit and pay it off, and it's still going to be cheaper than going and leasing or
Oh,
financing a
way
new car
cheaper.
by miles. And so,
Way
like,
cheaper.
fuck it. As long as the rest of it's in shape, easily been the best decision. Now we got the baby seat back there. It fits like a dream. It was funny when we went to go get the baby seat installed. The girl, the girl was installing it, showing me how how it's done. Whatever, you can have them show like how the whole thing works. And she's in the back seat, put the seat in. She was like, "Wow, this looks brand new." And I was like, "Well, yes, because nobody's ever actually really sat back here, and there's been a blanket over top of the back seats for about 9 years, and so it looks like a pristine new vehicle. Obviously, it's not going to look like that for very much longer, but
No.
yeah, easily the best thing I ever bought by
Nice.
miles. And I'm blowing the wheels off this fucker. This shit's gonna be in my driveway minimum as a secondary vehicle until it's literally incapable of moving. I will hold on to it for dear life. It's just, especially with how expensive all, cars are getting now. It's just insane. Uh, what is this? What? Okay, it's random as fuck, but I'm gonna give it to you. You're gonna have to focus up, Mr. Black. This paragraph, the scenario's paragraph. You got full attention. You've unintentionally rubbed your water bottle. This is not a euphemism. Unintentionally rubbed your water bottle the right way, and a genie came out offering a one-time choice to live an eternal life on Earth, or on a spaceship traveling across the whole universe and landing on planets excluding Earth. Again, this is an eternal life situation. So you're crossing the universe basically while being immortal. Or put you in the Matrix with the powers of the one, Neo level powers, and no agents. Each choice excludes the other, so you can only choose one. You can't experience more than one. You can take your loved ones with you. Which one do you choose?
I go to the Matrix.
100% bro. I'm
Easy. That's
I'm
an
gonna fly
easy.
my ass around. You kidding me?
Yeah, I mean that's easy because, like, I mean, if you have internal life and you're flying through space, I mean, how boring would that be? I mean, you could be I mean, how fast can you really go?
Not fast. Even
Can
at
you
light
even
speed.
you can't
Like
even
you're,
you can't even go as fast as the universe is expanding. Like,
yeah,
I'm not even sure where. Like, I mean, you could be in you will be in basically darkness for
the vast majority of time.
eternity. Yeah. That sounds horrible. With or without family. It sounds
Yes.
terrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Put me in the Matrix.
Yes.
I ain't even got to worry about no Asian Smiths. I mean, dude, I'm going ham in that bitch. I'm the one.
100%.
I'm running shit.
100%. Not even a
Yeah,
question.
easy.
Not even
Easy.
a question. News. Who are you betting on? This comes in from Jubinator. Who are you betting on? Oh, it didn't take very long. Who are you betting on buying Warner Bros? I first thought Netflix getting them would be the worst outcome, but it sounds like it would actually be the best after the other bids have come in. So that's the first one he's got. Who do you think is actually going to win Warner Bros on this buyout?
Netflix.
It feels like that's the most likely scenario. It's all bad. I mean, that level of consolidation in the entertainment industry is dog shit. It's going to be there's no good happy ending to any of that. But it's probably Netflix. I guess, is the most likely. It feels like the most likely scenario at this
Yeah,
point.
I know Paramount is like trying to do a hostile takeover.
Yeah.
They came in with like $108 billion or some crazy shit.
Yep.
Um, yeah, I just think I think just Netflix. I mean, Netflix like basically won the original bid, and then
Yeah.
then they were going through all the details, and then Paramount came over the top and said, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, that wasn't my final bid," even though Warner Brothers said like put in your final bids, and they did, and they
Mhm.
didn't get it. But Paramount is like desperate to get Warner Brothers. Um, but I just don't think it's going to work. I think Netflix has got the bigger dick. And you know, it's not good for cinema. It's not good for the movie theaters. It's just
No.
not good. I don't care what Paramount says or what Netflix says, where they're like, yeah, we're still going to release movies in theaters and we're still going to have a theatrical window and yada yada yada. Um, the reality of this is, and it pains me to say it, but the movie industry, like the theater going experience, is dying. It is it is dying. It's dying quickly. It's not
Yep.
even like a slow death at this point. There are fewer and fewer films um, going out into theaters. There are fewer films that are successful when they go to theaters. There's always going to be theaters, and there's always going to be a demand to go and see specific types of films on the big screen with an audience, sort of in the traditional sense. But with how streaming is, the amount of money that is going into streaming, the competition amongst these streaming companies that are fighting for market share, um, it's they're putting out more and more theatrical movies day one at home. Like, and it's before, like, it was a rare thing. You get like maybe a couple of movies a year where you're like,
Yeah.
damn, wish I could have saw this in theaters. Now it's like every month there's something coming out that could have easily have gone to theaters and probably have done well. But the thing is, they don't care. Like they're like, who gives a shit? Just get it on there, get it on our streaming service, get these subscriptions up, give them more and more and more. And yeah, I mean, it's not good for the movie the theaters, and it's not good for people that love the movie theater experience. But this is just the evolution. TVs are getting so cheap. The picture quality is in a lot of cases better than movie theater quality at this point. You know, unless you've got new movie theaters that like, you know, have state of the art projectors and things like that. Like, yes, of course. But like OLEDs, you know, back in the day, man, an OLED cost you. I remember I spent my very first OLED. I spent over $5,000 on it. You know, for like what a 52 inch or 51 inch
55?
OLED. Yeah, 55 inch. That's it. 55 inch OLED cost me like $5,000. You know, now you can get them way cheaper than that. Like, yeah, there's still OLEDs that are very expensive, right? But like, you know, you're getting into like 8K TVs and like just some crazy shit. So like, you can have a really good quality experience at home. You know, sound bars are getting so much better. Surround sound's getting so much better. And people are just not all that interested in spending $20 to $30 a movie ticket, $20 to $30 for concessions. If you're taking your family out, it's a guaranteed $100+ ordeal. If you want to go to movie night with your significant other and you got kids, you're paying for a babysitter. You got to drive out. It's a 3-hour ordeal. You know, it's a time sink and it's a money sink. And people are like, hey, listen, I'd rather spend $50 a month on Netflix than go to the movie theater and spend $80 for me and the missus to go out and you know, stuff her face with some popcorn and some drinks and a candy and a couple of shows. And that's assuming it's a regular ass ticket. You want to go to IMAX, They got a surcharge on that, and then if you get your ticket online, they got a surcharge for doing it online. I mean, dude, they're just hammering you everywhere, right? So, it sucks, but at the same time, this is just sort of the evolution of it. I used to be a huge moviegoer myself. I still enjoy going to the movies, but I don't do it as much as I used to go like every other week. Every other week. I was in a movie theater at least twice a month. Then COVID hit and it got people out of the habit of going out to the movie theaters and watching. And then Warner Brothers, of all, decided that they were going to do all their theatrical releases and just put it on TV day in, day out. Like, some of them still went to theaters, but they did it on streaming at the same time because in case people didn't want to go and risk going to COVID, getting COVID in the theater, and they had like certain spacing between. It was a mess. But that really hurt the movie theater business big time and got people out of the habit. You break the habit, it's tough. So I don't care who wins. Like, I have both Paramount Plus and I have Netflix. So like I watch both anyway. They're it's a big part of my household, that and Disney. I'm in the camp of I still have value in this stuff, right? I just renewed my Disney Plus because Kai watches it all the fucking time. That costs like I think it was like $140 or something like that for the year. Netflix, because I got like the no ads and the 4K, that's like $24.99 or something along those lines a month. And then Paramount Plus, I think I pay $15 a month. So like between all of them, I'm at like, say, on a high end, we'll say $80 a month. We don't watch cable, like, ever. Now even like Paramount Plus, you can watch sports, like live sports, like right there. It's just like extreme everything, right? So for me, there's still value. But just understand this: Netflix ends up buying Paramount. Expect the rates of Netflix to go up a lot within a 2-year period after the acquisition. They got to make this money back. It's like a fucking, I think they bid like 80 something million bucks, say 85 billion dollars, and then now we got Paramount at 108 or whatever it is. So God knows where it's gonna end, but it's a good and bad thing. It's more content at home. Sucks about the movies, but for the ones that don't really go to the movie theaters, I think it's an overall win. It's never cool when one company owns like the vast majority of the fucking digital media out there. That's problematic. Especially if they don't utilize a lot of IPs that are going to basically be dormant until they decide like, hey, let's bring this out. Because now you're going to be juggling all of this stuff plus what you originally have. It's a lot, man. It's a lot, but crazy times, big moves are being made, and I expect this to be a thing, and I expect more of this moving forward. I expect there to only be like 2 major players in the entire streaming space. It's going to be like Disney, and it's going to be like Netflix. Like that's where it's going to end up going, right? And of course there's Paramount, but I don't think we're going to see a whole lot of like all these other small things like Peacocks and fucking whatever other random ass things. I think they're all just going to be gobbled up. It's just too many. Bundle them, So we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know who's going to ultimately win. I think Netflix is probably the most likely. I mean, the thing that this whole process has raised to me, even though it was already relatively apparent, but there's been so many of these specific kind of buyout scenarios in the last like 2 to 3 years that it's gone from being apparent to being painfully obvious. Is that I don't know what the FTC exists for anymore. I'd just close them down. Like if we were gonna do like back when Elon was in blowing up the entire fucking insides of the government, shutting down everything that moved. How the FTC survived, I don't know, because they're not doing anything. Like I understand that in many of these instances, they are not monopolistic in the most literal applied form of a definition, in that they are not literally the only, and the problem is with a global economy, you can stretch that so fucking far now, where you can say, yes, well, in this section, yeah, they basically own everything, but if you expand out just a little bit, they are technically getting competed with another multinational company over here, and so it's not really, so we're going to let this one slide.
Yeah, their thing is because they knew that this was going to be a problem, and
Yeah.
the owners of Paramount Plus or Paramount are
They're
in
spinning their
tight
cable
with.
out.
Yeah, well, yes, but what I'm saying is they are in tight with Trump and the administration, so they're planting seeds there.
Yeah.
Trump comes out and says something about like, "Oh,
He's
this
like, I
seems
don't know.
kinda,
Yeah,
I don't really know what's going on," right?
That
Just
sounds
kind
like,
of throwing that out there.
I
Yeah.
got,
Yeah. But Netflix, what Netflix is saying is they're not just competing against other streaming platforms, but they're also competing against YouTube. And YouTube is basically a streaming platform. Not
this
in the
is what I
same
mean
sense.
by stretching the definition.
Correct, because the quality and content that is now being put on YouTube is very produced. Even something like Mr. Beast is on Netflix. Is on these. You got these large YouTubers that are there. It's all kind of coming together, and that's the lane that they're going at, saying, "Hey, we don't have monopoly. Look at YouTube. YouTube's way bigger than we are, way bigger than Netflix. We're just trying to, you know what I mean? Like that's the route they're going. And you know what? With enough money and enough lobbying,
yeah, of course,
they'll get what they want. They get what they want.
and that's why I'm saying I don't understand what the FTC is. It's a lawn ornament at this point.
Yeah.
It's performative. They're not doing anything. We're literally at a spot now where, I mean, even if you went and rounded it up now, if you included like every consumer and even a fair chunk of business to business, product. I mean, what's the list of companies, globally at this point? The vast majority, maybe you could probably write down a list of like 10 to 20 companies at best that just own fucking everything.
Everything.
And so there's like this faux competitive market. It's not really that competitive. It's like the illusion of competition. And so when things like this happen and there's just zero pushback and it's just kind of like, fuck it, let them, and they can say something as dumb as, oh, but YouTube, like, what the Jesus Christ. It's just insane to me. Now for me, it's sad in that even though I wasn't like the world's biggest moviegoer, I did enjoy going to the movies when I went. I just was more selective with what I went to go see in the theaters. But and I understand why the prices crept up. It's a supply. It's a largely a supply and demand problem for sure. But it did just get to be too expensive to even justify, going to the small number of movies I was going to. But what this does represent to me is kind of like a bigger problem. I'm not going to like spin this out into a big long conversation. I just wanted to like add this in, is that the movie theater experience and the movie theater specifically is kind of representative of, I guess, what's the technical term? Third space, a place where people in a given community, intersect and interact and get together and do things outside of like home and work, like, or homeschool, work, whatever. It's that extra space. And especially for younger people, like I think when we were growing up, the movie theater was a major touch point for getting together on a weekend, meeting up with people, whether it was like the arcade there first and you went to go see your movie, or maybe if you were balling out of control, you went to a Boston Pizza first and then you hit up a fucking movie. There's less and less of those spaces and like little like culture building like touch points. And it just seems like everything is becoming more insular. So yeah, you can spend Even in Canada, it's even easier in the States. Like this TV here, this is a C3. You can't see it on the stream. You know, a 60-inch LG C3. I bought this in Canadian dollars for like 2 grand, which means in the States it's like $1,200. And this TV looks more than good enough to get you, other than the size of it, to a movie experience with even half decent speakers driving behind it. And so that's great. And I love that that's an option. And I do enjoy it at home to be able to do that. But if everything is just going to be more and more driven into the home because the outside stuff is too expensive to do like fucking anything, I think that the impact of that is that in a weird, and again, not to get kind of like into a different conversation, I think that like the community thing and the social thing that kind of holds like a fabric of any given, like if you whether you're talking about a town, a city in Canada, a province, whatever, all these things going further out, you get people on islands, and it just makes it easier for everyone to feel like there's no. There's nothing binding anyone, right? It sounds weird that that's the case, but you start getting rid of like the ability for people to easily go to, you know, the coffee shops, arcades, movie theaters, whether it's a drive-in or otherwise. Restaurants get too expensive. That's a problem that we're seeing here, where like every restaurant is getting blasted by the fact that nobody's going out to eat anymore. And everyone's just staying home all the time. And then what does that mean? What's their only touch to the outside world? What you guys are doing while you're taking a crap at work, which better be how you're fucking doing this right now, is you're just online. And online is really, unfortunately, not real life at all. It's just not at fucking whatsoever. And so, like, nobody in the real world knows that there's drama around some streamer maybe using a shock collar on their pet. Like, nobody fucking knows that shit in real life. But when everyone gets more and more driven inside, I think that's a problem. And this isn't a knock-on effect. They're not doing it intentionally in that regard, but it is happening this way, where everything's being consumed in the home. And that's my concern, is that we're going to be losing another space that got people out and doing things outside of their home with, you know, even if you're like interacting with the community the way that you do.
Well, I mean, good news is I mean, I still think for the large franchises, they're still going to come out with movies. Like they're still saying they're going to come out in theaters. But yeah, I mean, you can see the writing on the wall. Like things are changing, and by the time my son, by the time my son is a teenager, it's going to be a very different. Like there'll still be the movies. I think they're always going to exist. Hollywood just will not allow that to happen. But at the same time, it is going to take a major hit, and there's going to be less movie theaters. It's going to be less. It's going to become niche. Yeah, it's not going to be a normal thing to just go to a movie, just because, right? And be like, well, why would I go to a movie when I just watch it at home? Like, what the fuck? So, yeah, it's interesting. We'll see what happens. I mean, this is probably going to be a fight that's going to go on for like the next year. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes, and yeah, I'm sure we'll bring this up again in the future.
Yeah, oh for sure. We'll keep tabs on it. Would you rather live in a world where you only eat breakfast foods for every meal, or only dinner foods for every meal? You know what? If you asked me this like 10 years ago, I'd probably go breakfast every time. I've been on like a real dinner meal kick recently, where like the foods that I crave are not breakfast foods these days. Like I'm craving something that's closer to an actual like dinner. But it's hard to hard to lose breakfast.
I'm going breakfast.
It's hard to
lose breakfast. I'm going breakfast. I mean, dude, I shit you not. When I wake up in the morning, right? Like bless my wife, because like every single morning, all right, not a lot of guys out there can say this, but I know I can. I got to give Kayla credit. Every single morning, outside of when my mom is here spending the night and Kayla gets to sleep in, she wakes up. I'm usually awake at like 6:30, 6:45. Like no alarm clock. I just wake up, and then her alarm goes off right at 7:00, because then my son also gets up at 7. So she gets up, she gets him up. I stay in bed. At 7:30, Kayla comes in the room. She says, "Lights coming on." I'm still like, in darkness. She turns the lights on, and she's got breakfast. And I eat breakfast in bed 6 days a week. Just boom, just there. I eat my breakfast. Kayla finishes getting Kai ready for school and whatnot, and then I get up. We see him out. And then, or if I'm at the gym, if I go to the gym, I'm out before they go. And I'll tell you something, man. In the mornings when I wake up, it's like 6:30, 6:45. I look forward to my breakfast. It is the meal, and it's simple. I have 2 hard-boiled eggs. I get about 5 or 6 strips of bacon, 2 big hash browns. Yep.
Okay.
And that's what I'm eating, and a glass of orange juice. That's my brekkie. I got my little multivitamins in there. Got my little probiotics pills. Sometimes feeling a little backed up, throw a little Restore-Lax in that orange juice. Make sure I'm feeling. Make sure everything is moving and grooving. And bro, I tell you right now, if I had to wake up to dinner food, my whole day's fucked. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. So yeah, I would gladly eat 6 eggs a day, bacon every day, hash browns every day. Shit, at nighttime, sometimes as my snack, I'll throw in a couple of those big hash browns in the air fryer and just eat them bitches before bed. Right? I love me some breakfast food. Not to mention, breakfast food can also, you can have steak for breakfast.
Steak and eggs?
You can still have steak and eggs. That's the thing. You can also have chicken and eggs. You can also have waffles.
Chicken and waffles?
Pancakes. I mean, the list goes on, Adam. Omelets. Crepes. Fruit. Smoothies. The fuck? I could figure out, man, I could live if somebody today told me, listen, Jeff, I'm sorry to break the news to you, brother, but you're going to have to eat breakfast food for the rest of your life. I'm going to say, is that bad news? I was expecting bad news. I've been waiting to eat breakfast all day. So yeah, fuck dinner foods, bro. Fuck them. I'll miss sushi. Yeah, I'll miss it. But I wouldn't miss it as much as eggs and bacon. That fucking full-blown, that plate where you just got a little bit of everything. I'm not a sausage guy, but I'll learn how to love a sausage.
Hey-yo.
Hey-yo. Give me those taters. Get a little Cajun spice on that bitch. Coffee. Orange juice. Adam, come on, man. No.
Okay.
No. Eggy McMaggies.
I mean, I haven't had one of those in a hot minute, but I should probably get back. I could
Probably get back on it.
Get back on that tip. Listen, when I think breakfast food, I get you can eat, just like you can eat breakfast for dinner, right? We have definitely expanded breakfast foods to include a lot of things that I wouldn't have normally associated directly. How many times in my life have I had steak and eggs? Probably twice. Because it's just, it's just,
Yeah, yeah.
But I get it. And again, like 98% of my life, I'm going breakfast foods. But just recently, I've just been in a big dinner foodsy type situation. Salad bowls with protein in them have been like my fucking thing. So whether that protein's chicken or beef or whatever, and then it's just rice and kale and cabbage and fucking whatever, and a big amalgam. Mix that shit up with fucking sauce. I'm eating it 3 days or 3 times a day easy. It's just been, my thing. But yes, it's true. Breakfast food technically is superior.
Yeah. Oh, dude, even if you had to exclude steak, from it and you had to exclude even chicken, like say if you wanted waffles and chicken,
Mm.
I would still take the breakfast food, man. I would still take the breakfast food because like eggs you can have in so many different ways, man. You can have them shit scrambled, over easy, hard boiled. I mean, there's so many different things that you could do
It's true.
with breakfast food.
It's true.
And it's pretty healthy stuff. It's healthy stuff too.
Well, not
You
the
know,
bacon.
you can get a little wild. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the bacon, you know, but hey, you gotta have a little. I love me some bacon, bro. I love me some bacon. It doesn't mess up my stomach.
I gotta leave it
love
out the house because if I have it in the house,
Oh,
I'm
you
a
eating-
fuck
you
up
eating
too much
of it.
bacon. Bacon. I can't. Like,
Dude, you know what we get? You know what we get? We go to Costco
Yeah.
and they've got like a $15 pack of bacon that you can just put in the microwave, like it's pre-cooked.
Yep.
Bro, that shit, if you put it in like a little bit longer than it says on the package, it gets nice and crispy. Dude, and it takes like literally like fucking 90 seconds to just cook. Like just boom. Bruh. Yes.
See, that's a
You don't have
problem.
to- No,
That's the
it's not a
problem. I'm gonna eat way too much bacon. I'm
It's a good
just.
problem to have. 5 strips a morning for me. Sometimes Caleb puts on an extra strip and I count. I'm like, I put on that extra strip. When she puts on that extra strip, bro, it just makes
Oh man, it's pulling the
it makes
pile
my-
apart and
my
lining them
mouth
up.
right now.
Watering.
My mouth is watering. My mouth is watering right now. I almost want some breakfast food.
Live in a world with no cars or only cars. And I guess he's including planes for transportation because we obviously wouldn't be able to get anywhere without planes if it was another, across the pond.
Only cars or no cars?
Yeah.
I'll go only cars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna go. But that's also it's a tough question because if you had no cars, then cities and stuff would have to be built for no cars. Right now, like where we are, you're fucked if you're not using a car.
What about trucks? You know what I mean? Like
Well, I think he's
trucks.
I think he's including
okay.
that kind of a.
Oh, well then yeah,
you know what I
definitely
mean?
cars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so too. Live in a world where only PC games exist or only console games. Oh, PC games, bro. Come on.
PC,
Especially now.
come on,
Now, if this was 20
man.
years ago, I'd have a harder
Console
time.
then.
Yeah.
Console. Yeah, now PCs. That's not
PCs
even
are doing everything.
everything, and it doing everything better. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Let's see here. I don't know what Josh wants the commentary to be on this, but like I just agree generally with the sentiment of the actor who spoke about this, but it's also like it's not going to stop because people are degenerate fucking weirdos. But Final Fantasy VII's Aerith, the person who voiced Aerith in the more recent Final Fantasy, the remakes and shit, had enough of people tagging voice actors. So like, the problem is not even necessarily that it exists, but these people are having a habit of tagging voice actors on social media with these with what is essentially smut featuring the characters that they voiced. So Rule 34 porn being sent to the voice actors that did the characters that the Rule 34 content is based on, kind of thing. This apparently has been a problem.
What
for
is
a
a
while.
Rule 34? I
Rule
legitimately
34
don't
is
know what that is.
Rule 34 is one of the oldest memes on the internet. I mean, we're like real old. Where the Rule 34 means if it exists, there is porn of it on the internet. So it doesn't matter if it's what it is. Somebody has done pornography around said thing on the internet. So the discussion began after this actor saw the K-pop Demon Hunters actor Ryumi discovering that there was adult fan fiction featuring her character from the movie. In response, the Aerith actor suggested that fans in general had forgotten the meaning of the word inappropriate. Because again, I don't even know, like, all of them know that this is happening. It's the idea that that these people decide that they desperately need to like be fucking sending porn of the characters that these voice actors are representing to them on social media. There's not much of a discussion to be had here, to be honest with you. It's just people are fucking weird. They're super fucking weird. And it's true. There are a lot of people that don't know what the word inappropriate is. To them, it's fine that they sent, like, why wouldn't the actor or actress that plays this fucking character want to see, a giant fucking donkey dick riding them up and as a character on the internet? Why wouldn't you want to see that?
I mean,
It's fine.
I can honestly say this. I legitimately don't understand how people can watch and enjoy weird anime porno and weird I
8 billion people, Mr. Black. Somebody's gonna like the taste of shit. You know what I mean?
Listen, nothing against whatever floats your boat, right? Like I get it. Everybody's got their thing, or most people have their thing. Some people are into fucking whatever, right? Like, if I'm watching some black buck fucking plow some chick, some people are like, how can you watch that? And I'd be like, well, I mean, I don't mind watching a black buck absolutely smash, So I get it, but I don't know what it is, but my brain cannot, if I'm watching porn, right? If I'm going to have me a goon sesh, okay?
Yeah.
I don't know, it's that type of shit, like Final Fantasy porn and other stuff is quite literally the last, it's not even done I even think of. Like, how do you even put that in the search bar? There's so much real stuff that you could watch that just seems far more enjoyable and real than watching Cloud bang fucking I don't know.
But it's never
Frieza,
that pedestrian. It's going to be.
I don't get it.
It's always even crazier than that, right? It's never that pedestrian. It's always some crazy shit.
I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Now, have I seen anime porn? I've seen it. I've seen stuff on the internet that
you're on the internet long enough.
I'm on the internet long enough. But I can honestly say I've never sought out that type of stuff or stroked me a good one off watching some video game character plow somebody or some sort of other character, right? Who's searching up watching the Avengers fuck? You know what I mean? It's just there's just something about it, bro, that's just it's weird to me. But hey,
it's funny you give that example because there is a famous banned GIF on Imager, the website Imager, that is Avengers related, Rule 34. That involves the Hulk and Black Widow, I believe.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That's
right.
The internet's a
Instead
wild
of the
again.
black buck, that's the green buck.
The green buck
going fucking ham. Yeah. Wow.
Listen. The internet is global and there are a lot of people, and we all know that there are a lot of people that are, they got some special interests.
Well, here's the other crazy part. Not only the people that are watching this stuff, I slightly judge from a distance. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not really me, but at the same time, hey, to each their own. Okay? Whatever gets
Just
you
don't
off.
send
you
it
do,
to people that aren't asking for it.
Don't send it to people. But here's the other crazy part. Who's making this stuff? If you had a webcam on the individual that is animating this fucking filth, I wonder what this individual looks like.
You want to know what the secret is? And here's the secret. You ready for the secret? I got the answer for you.
I'm ready.
I got the answer.
I'm ready.
Okay? They're perfectly fucking normal, well-adjusted humans that are making fucking insane amounts of money doing commission work for the weirdos online. There is an actual known quantifiable thing where the joke is that half of all of the science community and the IT or the programming community are just a bunch of furries. And there's for artists that focus specifically on just cranking that shit, and they're making, dude, the money flowing.
Damn. I didn't know they were making money, bro. I just thought it was something that you just put out to
I mean, there is, because there's always people just putting their shit out, but there is a market there that's been that was joked about for a long time, and then it became more and more of it became less ironic and more oh, this is actually happening. And then people are just making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year just drawing
Damn.
smut for this shit.
Damn. All
So
right.
either the people are doing it.
Hey,
They're
get
like,
paid.
hey, it's a paycheck. You know, you
Go
want
get your
some
money.
freaky deaky Dutch. I got you
Wow.
for however much you want to pay. You know, that's kind of how it goes. It's, you know, it's just,
Wow.
yeah, you know, it's,
Okay.
I mean, I have to assume it's the same idea as like the people who are writing, you know, smut for women, you know, like the romance novels and shit. Those people aren't you know what? You almost have to look at it as like a drug dealer. They're never trying their own product, right? Never do your own product. You're producing it for the people that want it. They're addicted to it. They're buying it at the back corner of a gas station, and they're going home and they're dreaming about some weird shit where it's a bear instead of a man. Okay? You know, but the people writing it, they're just normal people that have an imagination and a love for money.
That's fair enough. Fair enough. Make your paper.
That's what it is. Oh, the internet. There's a fucking special place. Last one in here from Josh was, if Donkey Kong wins Game of the Year, will Adam have an aneurysm? Yes. Full blown on stream. Promise you. If I see Donkey Kong win Game of the Year, I'm not even going to know what to do myself.
It's a good game.
I will lose my mind.
Is that the Switch 2 one?
Yeah, it's a good game, but is it Game of the Year?
No.
Sergeant, since the fans were asked which was our favorite cast, what cast was the most fun for you two? The hardest question and we've asked this.
Yeah,
we've been asked this many times.
I immediately, I just think, personally, I really like the Pro Bore game, where it came down to that one last probe
versus the SCV.
You know, because I just didn't see it coming.
Yeah,
and it just was like, it was just so insane. That's one of my favorites. It's definitely a top 5. It's hard for me to choose specifically just one because there's so many standouts that I have to just, if I had to pick one, like, and that's the one that just came to me right then. But I will say, episode 8, the Niskel, changed everything for us.
Yeah.
And so it's just a special episode.
Yeah.
And it's our most watched episode ever.
Yep.
By a lot.
Yep.
So, you know, that in theory should be my number 1, but I'm going to go with the greatest Probe War showdown because that was so much fun.
So Lag TV had two. I'm going to answer it this way, because he asked like, what was the most fun for you two? So I'm gonna take it in like how, not necessarily the game itself, although that obviously plays a role in the answer, but like which ones were like what was fun to cast, which is different than just saying what's your favorite game.
Mike Hunt.
Yeah, that was a fun one for sure. That's a classic. A classic. But there's 2 phases of Lag TV, right? So there was the opening phase of Lag TV where people thought that everything was off the cuff. And the normal games were, but the Will Cheese in the early days was not. We watched the games ahead of time to find games that were actually worth posting in the first place, because we weren't getting enough volume per se back then to like just post shit willy-nilly. We needed to have something that was actually good.
And we wanted to make it special too, right? Like we wanted to like tell a story almost and put on a show opposed to just winging it, you know?
You know, that was a phase where we would watch it and we would workshop. You know, we'd be sitting in Jeff's apartment workshopping, you know, how do we make this? You know, we have this foundation, the game has some action, how do we make this more entertaining? And so that was a different phase. And eventually, of course, we had such high volume and YouTube demanded such high output to stay relevant that as time went on and we had to increase the number of games, we moved it completely away from that style where we were pre-watching and shit like that. We were just truly doing it off the cuff. And part of that was also we had done so much casting that we were able to do that because we knew each other so well that we could do entire comedy routines on the fly with absolutely no previous thoughts. So I'm going to say in first phase Lag TV, that premeditated era, I'm going to say my favorite of that time was probably I can't I it's not even the most popular. I'm gonna say my was the Queen
Mm.
the Queen one. Was
Was it
that episode
episode
6 or
9?
7? 7?
I think it was 9.
The Queen
Was it 6?
I think it was 6 or 7 maybe.
It's either 6 or 9.
But that was I think that was it because workshopping that idea because that was and the reason why I can still all this shit, I can't remember what I ate yesterday, but I can tell you in great detail all of these things. So, yeah, the birth of Honey Anus. Yes, exactly. So, when we were doing the games that week, it was a really thin week. There was not a lot to work with. We didn't have we had games that were sent in, but they were bad. Like we really didn't have anything to work with that week. And so that was the best we had, and it was easily the hardest we workshopped to come up with anything that would have turned it into a mildly entertaining game. It was 6, that's what I thought.
Yeah,
So
6, yeah.
so yeah, we thought about it. We were at it for ages. I was pacing the fucking hallway. We were desperately trying to come up with something, and when we eventually did, I said, "Listen, all we've got is we have to make it entertaining the length of time this queen is fucking crossing the map. Like it's just forever. We have to make that entertaining." And that's all we came up with was that, and it was the birth of Honey Anus. And so the whole workshop for that I think is gonna be fun.
Man,
It
we're
was just
so fucked, bro.
oh yeah, it's just that shit was fun. So I would say that one
it's crazy, bro.
in phase 1, I would say that's it. Phase 2 Lag TV, the most fun for me is always going to be Farouche.
Mm.
That shit fucking I was like there's a lot of times I'm laughing on casts, but that was I was legitimately dying. Oh, fucking Farouche
Yeah.
was so funny.
That shit was
And that was
fucking
when we
funny,
were still
bro.
in the same room. So
Yeah.
we crack we've been friends for so long, we crack each other up over microphone, but when we're in the same room, it's so much easier to just fucking make each other laugh. And that shit was impossible. You couldn't fucking not laugh at that. It was so dumb, and funny and well executed. And then I will say the runner-up, I'll give you one more. The runner-up for it would be I would say, oh god, I'm torn between two. Techno Goose and Archimedes are my two other ones.
Oh, the Archimedes. Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
That was yeah.
He's not Mexican, you fuck, is something that will forever be in my Archimedes.
Yeah.
That shit was just fantastic. Thank you for that 5 sheet, by the way, Rally. Much appreciated. Yeah, so I'll say those are mine. But yeah, 2 phases of Lag TV. I would say this is phase 3, where
Dude, there's been some really good casts over this last couple of years, some really good stuff, stuff that I actually think is better than a lot of the old stuff. It's just the audience isn't as big, the game isn't where it was, but there is stuff that we put out in this even last week.
Yeah,
there's stuff that we put out that if this was 2011, 2012, that'd be fucking huge. Be huge.
I said this on my stream a couple weeks ago. People were talking, about the games that week or whatever, and I said, I got to be honest. I said, there's a pretty good chance that what we're doing right now, from a quality of casting, is peak Lag TV. We peaked after retirement. We're like Jordan coming back after baseball. We ain't done yet. We came back. We're not Wizards Jordan. Now don't get it twisted. Wizards Jordan was a fucking demon.
Yeah.
However, this is after baseball Jordan. We came back and we're still hitting.
Well, you know what this is? This is we were in the NBA for a little while, back in the day, and we were one of the top teams, making the sort of the best content out there, and then we kind of fell off. We weren't training as hard. We had other things going. I get that we fell off, and we left the league. And then we decided to come back, but we joined the WNBA, and we're the stars of the WNBA, but nobody watches, right? So like there's some really good shit going on, but like nobody gives a fuck. And that's sort of where we're at right now. We're like starring the WNBA, bro. That's just sort of where we're at right now, bro.
That, you
That's
know
just
what?
it.
That's a perfect fucking analogy.
That's just it, man. And you know, the ones that know, like the diehard WNBA fans, like they know. They're like, yo, ATV, bro, I watch your shit every day. This shit's fire, man. Yes. Yo, I'm gonna download that game. I'm gonna hit up the sponsor. Yo, keep these guys going, man. Why ain't nobody watching this? Then you realize you're in the WNBA and the shit's ass. You know, the game's dead. Nobody gives a fuck, man. You know?
Oh my God. That's so accurate. Somebody was like, Thermal puts up a video and gets like 50,000 views. Why aren't Lag TV getting 50,000 views?
Because we're in the WNBA, bro.
We're in the WNBA.
We're running that shit, man. Those guys.
We're the Angel Reese of StarCraft casting.
We are.
We're getting me-bounds. They're not even rebounds.
Bro.
We're just missing and getting our own rebounds.
Holy
We're
fuck,
me-bounding out here.
I'd suck a dick for 50,000 views average. God damn. Put a dick in front of me right now. Put one of those black butts in front of me right now, bro. I'll suck one of them motherfuckers dry so that if we were getting fucking 50K views every single video again, man. Shit.
For real, though? Holy fuck.
No diddy. God damn.
Oh, for real. Fucking hell. Craig, what does Craig have for us here? Rockstar has allegedly fired over 30 employees to stop them from forming a union. Any thoughts on this? It's the video game industry. Everyone hates unions. Nobody wants to be beholden to unions. You know what? I have a stance on unions. I like that they exist. The problem is that unions invariably have to be run by a very small number of people at the top. And so even though the union is supposed to represent like this massive group of people, you're still kind of beholden to the whims of a very small number of people that head up the union. And so you end up in these situations where these unions, especially super powerful ones that make fucking ass loads of money. I mean, we got unions in Canada that own like large shares of the Toronto fucking Maple Leafs, for God's sake. Like the teachers
bro,
union.
it's crazy.
But then when you need the union, it's like they fucking ghost your shit and fucking disappear into the ether. And like, sorry, this doesn't apply to what we can do for you. Get fucked. By the way, your $500 dues are up for this fucking month. And you're like, oh, great, awesome, thank you. So, on one hand, yes, unions, great. In theory. Like, unions 60 years ago, I think were closer to like what we probably should have kept unions being, but they got too big for their own good. And now it's just like absolute power corrupts absolutely. And people are like doing union, like there's just sitting they're not even working. They're just at the head of the union, collecting money. They just sit up there and collect fucking money like a bank, for God's sake. So yeah, it's a bit of a mess. I'm not surprised though that so many, people in the industry would like to unionize. I'm also not surprised that so many publishers and developers do not want unions around at the same time. Do I think that Grand Theft Auto as a franchise could be made into the standard that it is if it was unionized? No. I actually don't. I really and truly don't think I just don't think that's the case. So, yeah, that's just not going to happen. They're never going to let that shit happen. They're going to Walmart that shit. Every time one comes up, we're shutting it down, boys.
That's it.
Shutting her down and moving out. Jedi, which fantastic N64 console color is your favorite? Oh, back in the day when they were doing the see-through, it's gotta be the purple one, right? Like that's the fucking. They also had clear.
I'm going green.
Green was good. You know what I really like though? They did. Although I didn't see as many of them. They had the black see-through one. That looked kind of fire.
It's like called was it a smoke?
Yeah, that was kind of fire. Yeah. I like that one too.
Yeah, that's dope. I like the green one because it came with, you could get, I have it. It's in another room. Is it up there?
I don't think you have it up top, do you? You have the purple one up there.
But the green one I have out in another room, that is like a Donkey Kong combo.
Mm-hmm.
It came with like Donkey Kong 64.
True. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
They had,
surprised they
like, a
didn't do that
green
with,
themed
like, the
one.
yellow or, like, the orange, because they hadn't did they do an orange?
Dude, yeah, there's orange.
I
Yeah,
think there was an
It's
orange
like
one,
Arctic
right?
orange or something. There's a bunch of different colored ones. There's a bunch. Like N64's got a ton of different variants.
Yeah,
But
that
yeah,
shit.
I'm gonna go the green. I'm gonna say green.
Yeah,
Reminds me
yeah,
of Donkey
yeah.
Kong.
Yeah, I really, and I'm not even a fan of the color purple, but I just always kinda liked
Yeah.
the console, not so much. I liked the controller in
The
purple. The
controllers,
console
yeah.
like, the console I preferred in some of the other colors, but the controller in purple always looked, like, really, really dope to me, which is the one you have up there right now, actually,
Yeah, I
the
got the
atomic
atomic
purple.
purple up there, yeah.
Let me see here. Zeus, we'll put that one on ice for this week. Oh, sour apple. We've answered that actually. Not that long ago. That's a zombie related question. Believe it or not. Let's see. Zonix. This is specifically for you, Mr. Black. He said, Jeff, there's been lots of talk about how Las Vegas tourism is declining. I don't even think that's talk, actually. I think that's just the reality. I
It's
think
just
that
facts.
it's
It's
just
just
happening.
facts. Yeah. Yeah.
Mainly driven because of high pricing and the strip trying to gouge you everywhere. Well, it's
Yep.
always been gouging you, but the
It's
gouging
real
has
bad
gotten
now. It's
deeper.
maliciously bad now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now it's like, you know,
They're overt about it.
it's
They're not even being
yeah,
subvert.
it's like old union dues where it was like, yeah, you know, it's just part of it. It just comes with your paycheck. You know, it's like $50 a week. Now you walk into work and they've got a gun to your head and they're like, give me 500. It's like, whoa, what the fuck? It's due time.
I'm just here
Give
for
me the dues,
Baccarat.
bitch.
Can we just like fucking calm
Yeah.
down here? Like, what are we doing? He asks, you know, he said, what was this your experience and how has it changed since you
Yes.
first went to Vegas?
Oh my God, it's way different. When I first went to Vegas, I was just so wide-eyed anyway. So like, I didn't know what I didn't know. Like, you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah, of course.
And then like after a few times of going there, you start to see all
Yeah,
of it. Because
yeah.
in Vegas, everybody's got their hand out, bro. Everybody's got their hand out. Everyone. Like, dude, you go to McDonald's and like they got a handout, like they're looking for tips. You know, the bellboy wants to like just grab your bag randomly and just take it to your room. It's like, no, I'm good. I can take that up. You check into a hotel, like they're expecting you to give them money, right? And then if you give them $20, like maybe they'll upgrade you. You know, you go to any restaurant, dude. The prices there are so insane. Like to get a fucking like Gordon Ramsay burger, it's like $80. It's like, what, US? And then they expect you to like do 18% gratuity. It's like, what are you doing? The fees for the hotels, like, you know, the prices have gone down to like get a room in some places because the tourism's so down. But like then they get you on the back end with the resort fees. It's like, dude, I'm not using your pool. It's the fucking middle of the winter. I'm not using any of your stuff. And then they still ask you when you check in. So when I checked in this last time, because I was there a few weeks ago, when I checked in, before I used to show up, because I'd fly out there in the morning. I'm usually in the hotel by like noon. Check-in time is 4 p.m. Normally, if they have a room that's already like ready and clean, they'll just let you in. Now they won't let you in. They if you want in, you got to pay like a $50 or $40. I think at the place I was at, it was like $40 or $45 US to like get in the room a few hours early, so you drop your bags off and shower. Or you got to line up at 4 p.m. and then there's like this long fucking line. So then you stand in line for an hour waiting to get checked in. They just gouge you everywhere. The shows are getting more expensive. The food is insane. The fees on everything is insane. All of the big shows, like the scalpers buy everything and then they resell at like fucking 3x the price. You know, I wanted to go to a Sphere show. It was like $400 US to like go to a fucking Wizard of Oz Sphere show.
Oh.
It's like, dude, I really want to enjoy the Sphere, and I want to like even in February, the Backstreet Boys are back, and I was really considering getting that for Kayla and I to like go out as a trip for like Christmas. So like, you know, give a gift and we go out in February. Dude, to like fly there, get a hotel, you know, for two people, like right then and there, that's like $3,000. Like just boom, right there. Just to get there. Then you've for the Backstreet Boys at the Sphere, it's anywhere from $400 and $900 a ticket, US. For like, it'd be a great experience. It's the Sphere. I get it. But like, my God.
They be asking at those prices. Nick be asking if he's the only one, and I'm saying no. Actually, Nick, no, you're not, and you're not sexual anymore either, because you're 50. So stop. Stop.
Yeah.
Stop for $900, Nick. No, the answer's no.
Nah, Nick. So yeah, no, it's just too expensive, man. And the tourism's gone down. I was there during F1 week, and it was fucking dead. It was dead. It was starting to get busy, like as F1 was popping off, but like leading up, bro, Vegas was dead. There ain't a lot going on there, man. It's in a rough spot. It's in a rough spot. So I agree. It's really bad, and I don't know how they're gonna fix it, but they're in trouble. They're in trouble, and like tourism's just down. I mean, Canadians just aren't traveling to the U.S. as much anyway, right? Like it's expensive. There's shit in the air right now between Canada and the U.S. It's just not, and the rest of the world, for fuck's sakes. It's like there's a lot of compounding effects that are happening in Vegas. I still love going there. I don't regret going there. I had a good time. I actually came home with $70 more than what I went. So like that's always nice when you win. But like, man, especially as a Canadian, and like for every dollar is like $1.40. So every $100 you spend, it's $140. Dude, you're getting racked. You want to go there? You want to go there as a couple? You want to go eat out? Like even just going to like Chipotle or going to Chick-fil-A. Like we're talking like fast food shit.
Double the normal price, isn't it?
And it's in US. It's just like you're getting wrecked. You want to go like get a fucking In-N-Out burger meal? It costs you like $22 US. It's like over $30 Canadian. To have a burger and fries?
Hell no.
That I'm gonna shit out in fucking 4 hours on the toilet? Nah, I'm good, bro. I'm good.
It's gonna get worse. If and it's a big if, because there's just no way this goes through. But again, like I was saying earlier, every time I see a thing and I think that it's an Onion article and it's not, God only knows anymore. But apparently they're floating around the idea of passing this so that people that like tourists coming into the States are going to have to provide not only their own, social media accounts and whatnot for screening, but also like their 5 closest like family members and shit and their accounts, so that it can all be back screened for, my only assumption would be some form of like seditious, like, oops, you made fun of Donald too many times, type shit. So they're actually floating this as an idea. Imagine I hope not, but again, like every time I think it's a fucking Onion article, the shit comes true. I don't know. It's wild in those streets. But like, imagine going down to the States, you get there at the border, he's like, all right, so I'm gonna need all of your social media accounts, and also, do your parents still use Facebook? If so, I need their accounts.
I'll tell you right now, if I ever go to TSA and they pull that, I'm gonna say, you know what?
I'm going home.
I'm gonna go home. I'm good. Thank you.
This ain't worth it. I'm just gonna go home now. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Let's see. We already answered Diaka's for today. It ended up being it was another about the buyout. Major says, congratulations, your bank account is able to speak back to you thanks to new AI developments. What is it roasting you for? You know what my bank account's saying to me right now? Congratulations for being the first bred loser. Cause it ain't you ain't the household's breadwinner. I'm gonna tell you that much right now.
Mine's telling me, what the fuck are you buying at the grocery store, bro?
What is this line item over here about these granola bars? What the fuck are these granola bars?
Dude, we haven't bought those granola bars in a while. We haven't bought them in a while. Yeah.
I wonder if they've gotten even more expensive.
Probably.
As of late. Let's see. Dr. Samurai, once baby Morehouse is a little older, would you guys ever go on a joint family vacation? Sounds like a Las Vegas at the top of the list. Joint vacation? Yeah, that sounds fire. Actually, I'd be down for that. When Baby Morehouse is significantly older, will it likely ever happen?
Sure.
Probably not.
Probably
But
not, but sure.
I'd fucks with it. If that was ever gonna happen, it'd probably end up being local. We'd probably just like fuck off
I
somewhere
think it'd be like
local.
a road trip or like something
Yeah,
around, like, you know, to go to like Magic Mountain or something like the zoo and shit. Like it'd probably be
exactly.
something.
In
I
that
don't
neck
see
of
us
the
all like
woods.
getting on planes and fucking flying outside.
Bro, I don't like going on planes by myself, let alone trying to make it a duel like what is this, like Home Alone? You mean like
Yeah.
leaving kids behind? No, I don't think so. Jedi, what are your top 3 favorite Tom Cruise movies? Top of that list, Last Samurai, easy. That's 1, locked in.
Mm.
Number 2, I have to say original Mission Impossible. Number 3, and this is going to come out of left field. He was in it, but not a main role up front. Tropic Thunder.
Oh, that's a good one. Let me get out a list here just so I'm not missing one here. Oh man, he's got a lot of hits.
That's a lot.
He's got a lot of hits.
There are a lot.
I'm trying to think of my number one.
I mean, you got like Risky
Damn.
Business. You got fucking
Last Samurai is pretty fucking good,
yeah,
man.
dude. That's my number 1 easy. I don't even have to think about that one.
It's pretty fucking good. Man, I need to watch that movie again. It's been a long fucking time since I watched
Fire
that
movie. Fire.
You know, number one, I'm gonna go. I'll say Last Samurai. I'll say Last Samurai. Number 2, I'm actually gonna say Mission Impossible: Ghost Protocol.
Okay.
I really like that one.
I
And
thought
then I'd say
maybe
number.
I thought you were going to go Minority Report personally because you were a big Minority
No,
Report
I like Minority
guy
Report,
back
but
in the
no.
day.
And then third, I'm going Edge of Tomorrow.
Oh, or Live, Die,
Movie
Repeat by its other name.
Yeah, fire movie.
That's a
Fire.
solid-
In
that's a
fact, I
solid-
might put that at number 2.
That was definitely a pretty
Yeah.
good movie.
That's you know what? I might put that at number 1.
Wow.
I think I'm going number 1.
Wow. Whoa.
Last Samurai,
Whoa.
number 2. Number 3,
Damn.
Ghost Protocol.
Damn.
Fire movie. Fire.
It is pretty good. I'm not going to lie.
Dope. Video game-esque.
Well, it was made
Tom
after a
Cruise.
manga, if memory serves.
Yeah.
It was,
It was.
yeah.
Dope movie. If you guys haven't seen that, you guys should definitely go watch that shit. It's really fucking good.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Vanilla Sky was a head trip. That movie was fucking wild. I remember watching it the first time I ever watched was with you at your mom's place.
Yep.
We watched Vanilla Sky at the living room.
I had the DVD.
Yeah. Let's see here. The new Metroid Prime has come out, Metroid Prime 4. Finally. And it has deeply divided series fans. That's 100% accurate. Implementing many questionable design choices that go against long-standing series traditions. Has there ever been a game that you were very excited for that disappointed you when it finally released?
I mean, yeah, I think we've answered this question a bajillion
Probably.
times.
Well, yeah, but I'm trying to think of like, but even if I did,
Stormgate.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Stormgate.
Yeah.
I think it made it worse. It made it worse for me because I had expectations, and it was like, you know, maybe this is the thing, you know, that like the next thing that we can get into, that I can get into. Like there was a lot more riding on it, just the game.
True.
It was like, you know, there's just so much riding on this for me. Dude, I put $1,400 into the fucking Kickstarter.
That's more than I put into the Ouya.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll
say Stormgate is a massive, just a massive letdown.
There are, man. There are, I think, probably 2. I just had one, but it left my mind. The first one is Guild Wars 2, and despite the fact that it's a really good game, after Guild Wars 1, it was a step backwards for me. And then, other than that, I did have a different one than that was in my mind that I was going to use first, and now it's fucking, like, escape vectored out of my mind. Uh, shit, what the hell was it? Fuck me. Anyway, there's definitely, there has been a few, but I would say if I'd have to think harder about it, but there's definitely like a top 3 that were particularly rough. But this Metroid one, yeah, this Metroid's been very divisive. It does not look like a particularly solid game. I would say that from all the footage I've seen, all the reviews I've watched, and the discussions I've seen around it, it feels like this might be the worst first-party Nintendo game they've put out in a long time. And I think some of that's because it got caught in development hell for a long time. And it was like it started as like a Switch 1 title only, then it was like, "Oh, now we gotta do Switch 2," and they really yeah, there's a lot of weird design choices, it's true, in that one, but yeah. Let me just do a little refresh-erino here and make sure we got oh, Jesus, okay. Um, we've done that one before. I'll wait a little longer to go back to that well. Most of the later stories just people. Oh, I don't know, maybe you remember this, Mr. Black. Said, "I believe there was once some kind of waiter tip amount story on Jeff's side that people then
121.
donated on stream." Yes, that's the $1.21 reference. That was a
Yeah.
meme for a long time too. That one stuck
Yeah. Yeah.
hard.
It was a meme. They'd send me a fucking picture of a stalker, and then on the bottom or
I
up the
live to
top it said like
serve
a
or
dollar
whatever.
21, and it said I serve for
For
now.
now,
And
that
this
was
was
it.
like yeah, that was like before I quit my job, right? And I was always talking about like,
Yeah.
man, if I could quit my fucking job, bro, I would quit my job. And then eventually I was able to quit my job. And I mean, I probably made so it was a $200 well, it was 180 what was it? $188
Less than
and
less than a
79 cents, right?
less than a 1% tip.
Yeah, and they rounded it up to like
Yeah.
$200. It was this huge Sunday church group. They're just cheap as fuck. Gave me and I remember I came home and I showed everybody the fucking tip, right? And then people started donating $1.21, and it was a thing. And dude, I don't know how much money in donations I got for $1.21,
Oh, bro.
but
Huge.
it had to have been at least 10 grand,
Yeah.
like over the course of, a few years. It was that much. And then people were doing like some people were like $1.21 isn't enough. So then we had like people like Suicidal Zerg and some other people that were doing $12.21. Then it was
Yeah,
like
just
$121 and and they would just go and do these versions of 121. So yeah, that's no.
A classic. In the Game Awards tonight, how many Hideos is Jeff going to Kojima? He means Jeff Keighley. All of them. He's already glazing him on Twitter. The show hasn't even started yet, and he's already glazing Kojima on Twitter, for God's sake. He can't help it.
I'm sure you'll be watching that shit.
Oh, 100%. I'm streaming the fuck out of it. We got bingo set up. We're all ready to rock for tonight. The Supergirl trailer just dropped. Are either of you excited for it? I actually fell asleep halfway through that sentence.
Yeah, I haven't watched the trailer. I'm not going to seek it out. I'm sure when I go see Avatar, it'll be on there, so I'll see it when I see it. But yeah, I don't give a fuck about Supergirl. I don't care about Superboy. I really don't care about Superman. I don't care about Superchild. I really just don't give a single solitary fuck about any of this superhero shit. I'm just so burnt out on superhero bullshit. So, yeah, no.
To keep it movie specific and kind of in relation to what we were talking about earlier, we can just kind of like flesh out a little bit here as we wrap up or get close to wrapping up here for the day. With Sergeant, with a follow-up here, with going out for movies dying, what do you think the theater experience will actually evolve into? Because we agree that it's going to stick around. I said maybe with something more social, where you should expect talking over top of it,
No.
or something else. I think it just becomes more niche, smaller number of seats, higher production, fancier food, bigger dollar amount to get through the door. I think it is going to become a bougie thing. Like you're literally going to be dressing up to go to the fucking movies. because the only way for them to be able to afford to run the show is going to be to charge. There's not enough volume anymore. That's the problem, is they don't have volume. So the only way you make up for volume is you run the cost up, and then you have to match the experience to the cost. And so in my mind, the logical end conclusion for that is that they just try to make it the most tightly run, overproduced, like mind-blowing, whatever the fuck they can do to pull that off experience, provide even nicer food, smaller number of people in the door. So you're not, you don't have the chance of, like, let's say a bunch of teenagers kicking the back of your chair or some shit, somebody on their phone, some other person getting a fucking quick blowy in the top row, all that shit. We just make it like this crazy bougie experience, I think, is probably the general direction that it goes eventually, just because there's no volume. So I don't know how else they'd keep the dream alive.
I think, yeah, I mean, I think some of the stuff that you said is right. I don't know about bouginess. You can already start to, like, have alcoholic beverages in these things. I think what it's going to be is they're going to sell you on an experience. I think that it's going to become more of a theme park ride opposed to
more D-box.
I just think there'll be more gimmicky stuff,
Yeah.
and almost like selling you on. I think the theaters are going to be forced to upgrade more frequently and get the best technology to get to. You're going to be selling experiences and not necessarily, kind of like what Avatar is.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna be selling an experience. And then I also think that there's going to be a subsection of theaters that are going to go back to basics.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to go back to old style theater stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking, you go in there, they've got an old popcorn machine that's making popcorn the old way. You've got your old theater style seats,
like the Oxford used to be before it became a rock climbing place.
Pretty much. Like, I feel as though there is going to be almost a desire for people to re-experience what movies was like when it was going to the movies.
Boutique nostalgia.
Yeah, like, I think that there's going to be a subsection of theaters that are going to do extremely well for those people, and I don't think that the younger generation is going to enjoy that experience, and thus it is going to hold a certain type of clientele that are going to go there, and they're all going to realize, like, what they're there for. Like, I can see it, like, really going that extra mile to the point where, like, no cell phones allowed, no, you've got ushers that are, like, keeping an eye on the actual audience to make sure that people aren't doing things they're not supposed to be doing. Like, I feel like there's going to be a small percentage of moviegoers that are going to be searching for that experience. So yeah, I don't think it's going to be as extreme as people think. I still think theaters are going to be fine. I think we still got another 10 years of what it is now. But who knows where it's going to go, in the future. But yeah, we'll see.
Last question comes in from Call Deer. I'll try to summarize this because it's a little wordy. He's basically asking, have there ever been specific moments where one of us has done something where when karma came a knocking, we were like, yeah, you probably deserve that, kind of a moment? Not really. I do think
No.
that, like, nothing serious. I think the funniest one that I can think of where I was like, just the result of something that Mr. Black tried to do, and it was just such an epic fail that it still makes me laugh when I think about it, was the day that there was, like, this big push, where if everything went right, he was going to try to put the Frostmourne sword through a TV. And there was this massive buildup.
Yeah.
And there was so much hype behind this. And
dude, there was
like
there's like 7,000 people there.
Oh, it's nuts.
Chainmail on, fucking sword there. This is like peak. This is like my peak You know, I'm sitting there acting a fool. And I go to stab this TV, like we're hyping it up, right? Because I'm gonna go buy a new TV.
Yep.
You know, the money is fucking flowing in on this stream, bro. So much money.
And
And
just
I'm, and I stab the TV and it doesn't shatter. It just kind of goes
like a
into the
wet
TV.
fart.
And I'm like, yeah, and I'm trying to make it epic, right? I'm like screaming and yelling. And it's just there. And it's just such a fail. So yeah, it's pretty bad.
I'd say that's probably it. I don't do anything exciting enough for karmic retribution. I'm so fucking white bread that I don't really fucking do anything exciting enough.
Yeah, I can't really think of anything on Adam's side.
No.
Because Adam has always been like this.
Yeah.
This is just what you get. This is just what you get. And sometimes, there's like a little
flip of anger.
There's a little bump. Yeah, yeah. For me, I'm like this. I'm like up, down, like just very chaotic energy. I'm like an attention seeker. I'm a very like I'm just wired differently, right? Adam, even when Adam's really excited, there's like a peak to Adam's excitement. There isn't like, he's losing his goddamn mind. You can't, contain it. Like, when he's excited about something, but it isn't like, me, I'd be trying to do a backflip and fucking losing my mind. Right.
I just talk about it.
It's
excitedly for 5 minutes and then that's it. I get that. You know where I get that from? I get it from Dad. Dad,
of course.
Dad does not like nothing. Like
I've
no matter,
seen your dad. He's ever since I've known Dan, he's been in like one octave the entire time I've known him.
Never left.
It's like I've heard him like yell one time.
Yeah.
But like outside of that, I mean,
nothing.
When he speaks, when he's excited about something, when he's upset about something, it's like a very, like more will show it on his face than anything. It's a very like, here it is. That's that, And even your mom is similar. Your mom's a little more animated than your father, for sure.
Yeah, she is.
She's a little bit more animated than your old man. But even your mom is a pretty like chill woman, right?
Listen,
like she doesn't.
I don't have it on hand, but like someday I'll try to remember to show you the video that we have of them finding out that we're pregnant. And there's not a better example of exactly what we're describing right now. Mom figures it out because we opened it up. It was like mugs, grandma mugs type situation. And Mom figures it out first. And Mom like immediately jumps up and like almost has a fucking heart, but she's not screaming. She's just, like almost like the classic.
That's it.
Kind of a situation. And that's like, and that was, and then almost passed out. And Dad's going,
yeah. Congrats!
And that's
wow!
And that's like peak Dan Morehouse. It's just like,
it's like whoa, When I showed my mom, she's like, what the fuck, Jeff, what? Oh, I'm gonna be a grandmother! You know what I mean? Like it's like holy shit! Like it's just totally different. Just totally different vibe, man. And they're both like equally as excited, but they just show it in very different ways, right? Like it's just
they just don't have it in them to fucking get animated.
And Adam is way more animated than his parents. Like I mean, like infinitely more animated than his parents.
And honestly, this is part of why, because I've had to. I'm not Jeff has the personality to do what we do, which is why he was infinitely more successful individually than I was. I'm not the guy for this. It did well for me, but I'm not that guy. I don't have that kind of energy that plays to a broad enough crowd of people. I'm not the animated type. I rant. That's why I got like, congratulations, I'm a bald white dude that rants. How fucking special is that one? You tell me if you've heard that one before. Like, so, you know, it's not me, but like, but this job or this career, whatever you want to fucking call it, is part of, I was forced to be animated. So I've gotten habitually more animated. And it's funny, I'll say this much, now that I'm doing this real estate stuff, and I'm, and Jeff's had a bit ahead of me here, because when he started doing his, buying properties, he's going out, he's out in the real world, right? You're doing your cars and your coffee, you're interacting with human beings. This is like the closest I've had to that.
I went to a big real estate meetup last night. Yeah. Yeah.
And so when I went to the Christmas party for my broker here this week, and unfortunately, M was working, so I didn't even have a +1. And I have a couple of friends that work at this broker, but they were in Mexico for a fucking wedding. So I was literally alone. I've only been part of this for like fucking 5 days. I know nobody, and nobody I do know is there. And I'm not afraid of crowds. I'm not shy or anything like that. But I felt like if the best possible gift for this, it felt like re-entering society. I almost forgot how to be in a crowd of 400 people in a reception hall talking to each other and doing all. It felt weird, and like and holding conversations. Not that I have a problem conversing. My problem is I can't shut the fuck up, because my job for 15 years is I'm on a microphone and you're filling dead air all the time. So I catch myself, and I have to stop myself mid
talking
conversation and let somebody else
speak. Yeah.
And dude, I was never like that before. Like that was that's just from this. It's so weird. It's fucking hard to like, just put the brakes on and shut the fuck up.
And it's crazy too. And you know what though? It'll serve you. All of this stuff will serve you well. Like once you hone in, because like you've been speaking, and you speak very well. So like you're going to be able to, talk with clients and do all.
Yeah, that's not going to be a problem. Yeah.
But I'm the same way, and people tell me, even last night, they're like, dude, like, you're so, like, the way you speak, and I'm like, it's hard for me to
you have conversations with people. Voice
yes, like all the time, like I'm my voice, but then when I'm home and I'm not
goes away,
or I feel it goes away. I am like one of the most boring, quiet, like I don't like if I were to bring down Kayla and I would say, hey Kayla, like what's it like being around me, like when I'm not on? And she'll tell you, like I'm fucking pretty, like I'll speak if you speak to me, but I don't really bring up random conversations. I'm like, it's my time to shut the fuck up and just be in my own head because I'm on all the fucking time. But it's like as soon as I'm around other people and it's people I don't know, it's like I immediately go into Maximus Black mode, and I'm like the voice gets a little more pronounced. I'm like, I'm spitting things at like, I'm rapid firing. Somebody says something, it's like I gotta say something back. I feel like I gotta if there's dead air, I gotta like pick up and like come up with whatever. It's just a mind fuck. And I'm with you.
Fuck it, dude. It's the dead air. Like that fucked me.
Yes.
Hard.
Yeah.
Like I'm so used to filling that like
dead air.
It's become hard for me to know when a conversation has kind of run its course.
Yeah.
And just to let it die.
Let it go. Yeah.
It's such a weird feeling. Not like because you're just your brain. And like again, the same thing. Like when we went to go get our car seat, and I was talking, we were paying for the service or whatever at the time, and I'm talking to the guy at the front desk, and he was like you've really got a presenter voice. You should be doing broadcasting or something. I said, well, yeah, I see it. But it's because I can't turn it, like I can't turn it off anymore. It's fucking
Yep.
weird. And it's because of this, because when I was back in university, I wasn't full-blown introvert, but I certainly wasn't super animated or anything like that. I was much more, to myself, and just this has dragged a bunch out of me. So now, yeah, I described it. I talked to my contact, the broker. I was like, this feels like I'm re-entering fucking society. And the gift
Because you are.
the gift that came to mind. The gift that came to mind, believe it or not, when I was thinking about what this felt like, it's the one that came to mind was literally Jim Carrey exiting the fucking rhino's ass in the middle of like being reborn. That's what I feel like I was like as a person in society. I just looked like a crazy asshole coming out of a fucking plastic rhino. Like that's kind of what it felt like I was doing.
Yep.
It was so weird, so weird. So that's gonna take some adjustment.
Once you hone it in, dude, yeah, like once you hone it in, like I because I went to a real estate meetup last night, and it was like 3 hours long. There's people doing presentations, right? And there was like, and bless them, like they're doing it, out of the goodness of their heart. They're giving information and stuff like that. There was a realtor there, so obviously he wants to fucking plug his stuff and shit.
Doing his stuff.
That's totally fine. But like as I'm watching them, right, I'm critiquing their ability to present and and stuff. And I was thinking to myself, I'm like, man, Jeff, like if you take your knowledge and you go into a setting like this and you're the guy up there, like you're going to command, because I know how to talk to an audience. I know how to play to an audience. And then once all that is over and I'm sitting there talking to people like one-on-one, because you get, you do like a little social thing. You say, hey, what do you do? Like, where are you at in your journey and so on and so forth. Dude, I can't shut the fuck up. And like at one point last night, and they're like, some of them are eating it up, right? Like they want more. But then I'm just like, Jeff, this ain't just about you. Like, shut the fuck up and like listen to learn something. You know what I mean? Like, listen, right? So I literally, in my mind, I'm like, dude, shut up. And because I realized what I was doing is like, and you know how we go. Like, we can just go.
Hours.
And then we talk, and then something else will come up, and then we'll go on a whole tangent about that. And then that'll spike into something, and then they'll ask a question about that, and then you get. It's like, dude, just shut up. This isn't a 4-hour podcast. We've got 40 minutes to talk here and get some bullet points going and keep it moving. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I get to talk to 2 people, and there's 40 here. Like, what am I doing? So yeah, I know exactly what you're saying.
It's so fucking awkward. Like, it's so weird. Yeah. And I think the what you just described there, so like, the tangents, I equate it to when you're a streamer and you're live streaming and it's the dead air fill, whatever. You look to chat, somebody says something in chat, and there's a skill to just taking almost anything that's said in chat and spinning it into something that can be talked about for, the next, let's say 30 seconds, 60 seconds, whatever the fuck, and something else comes up. And when you find yourself in conversation with somebody in real life that's not a fucking person on a live stream, you can't stop. You're just like, and I just like the whole night, I actually said out loud a couple of times, I said, I need to shut up. Like I've talked about myself way too long. I was like, let me hear about your story.
It also doesn't help too that like when people ask us what we do for a living and and we say like, hey, I'm a professional video game player, or I'm I make YouTube videos, or whatever the case.
Content creator, whatever you want to say.
It's that content. Then they immediately like, boom. Then they're like, what? How does that work? How do you make money? What do people actually do this? Hey, you know what? My son plays so many video games. Dude, he would love you. Like, oh, you should come. Oh man, like, oh, my son, he plays this game called Fortnite. Like last night, I was talking about Roblox and shit. And like they just go on, and then I feel like then they're opening up the window for me to talk about what I do. And I mean, It's this never
Oh,
ending fucking game, right? You know, because if you're just an accountant, right? If you're like, hey, yo, I've been an accountant for the last 15 years,
they're like, oh,
that's
okay.
usually where it stops. It's
Yeah.
like, oh,
Because what do you
oh,
talk about?
yeah, exactly. Like, oh man, the
How are
CRA
them
tax
books?
changes this year really something, you know. But when you say like, yo, I've been a professional video game player for 15 years,
Yeah.
they go,
What?
what? Okay. And then there it is. And then here we go, right? And then then Maximus Black comes out. It's not even Jeff. It's just, here I am. Voice goes up.
Yep.
Fucking yeah. Oh yeah, no, definitely, dude. I was it. Yeah. Yeah. And it's just, yeah, that's just that. So
Oh, dude,
I get it. I
So
get
that's
it.
and
I
it's
get it.
tough. It's tough for me. The thing that's the bridge to cross for me too is a combination of like, you know, I'm I want to be in learning mode right now. So when I go to these events, I really don't want to be the guy that's having to talk all the time because I know dick. I read a textbook. I know how to use some forms, but the reality of the situation, I know how to run my own business, but the reality of the situation is I know, like, I bought my own home, but that's all of that is different than operating inside the
Oh, for
actual
sure.
industry of real estate. And so, like, I just want to learn. But when you start talking and you say, like, you know, what you've done or whatever, I'm fucked because now I'm just
Yep.
now the next 45 minutes is going to be about, you know, what the fuck does Adam do, and I'm just sitting there going, I just want to hear how you run your business. I got nothing over here. I'm literally a greenhorn. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I just want to learn, and
Yep.
that's been a real
But think about it,
fucking
Adam. Think
hurdle.
about it. Think about it, right? And you and I, we can talk more about this off air.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
But
of course.
you know, but just think about how well equipped you are now
Yeah.
to like create social media stuff
Oh, of course.
for houses, for content, for stuff. Like you've got so much more talent. Like the ability to create and connect
Or at the
and
very
put
least,
out
know what I'm
pieces of
looking
media.
for if I'm paying somebody else to do it.
Correct. Like
Yeah.
there's so much more like, yeah, because there's a lot of realtors out there or people in the space that are like, I guess good at selling houses, but they're not good at putting themselves out there in terms
Yeah.
of like, you know, to really command an audience and that's gonna be your sauce. It's like, you know, that's gonna be the thing that's gonna help you
The
a
experience is the
lot.
important thing. You know, you're
Yeah.
working with people who are about to make likely either their first or second or whatever the hell, whenever it's happening these days. You know, one of the biggest purchases, if not the biggest purchase of their life.
Yep.
And the experience you can either make that experience really good and memorable for
Oh,
them in
really
a
bad.
positive way, or really
Or
fucking bad. And
yeah.
or I would argue perhaps the worst of it all, completely unmemorable altogether. They don't remember anything at all. They don't even remember your name. You're a fucking like
Yeah.
ephemeral thing that moved in and out of their life. And so like the secret is in there somewhere.
Dude, when I get my license, I'm gonna be a realtor that is gonna keep it. I've already been thinking of like taglines and stuff, but I'm gonna be keeping it real, you
Okay.
know, with the real estate, right? I'm gonna be keeping it real. If
Within
I
the
have a
within the
client,
bounds of the bylaws in which you are
of
allowed to keep
course,
it real.
of course, but I'm gonna tell people like, hey man, like listen, this property, this ain't it, bro. I'm gonna keep it I'll literally tell people like, yo, I'm not gonna tell you what you should and shouldn't buy, but I'm gonna say, hey, listen, man, you're gonna have this problem, that problem. Hey, listen, if you're okay with all these things, then I think this is a good buy. But like, I'm not gonna just tell you that you should be putting an offer in on this thing if I don't feel like this is meeting your criteria, and I don't feel because I'm not like, yeah, I'm here for a commish, but like, dude, I don't need this commish. You know,
But
what I need is I need you to have a damn good experience and get in a fucking place that you love, or that you can turn into something you love, so that you come back. Not only are you happy, but you know, you gotta tell your friends all this other stuff. I want to make this shit as educational and as good of an experience as human. I'm gonna keep it real with you. in this real estate.
Keep it
I'm
real.
gonna keep it
Estate.
I'm gonna keep it real. It's gonna be my tagline. Keeping it real.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap it up there for today's podcast. Thank you very much for stopping by and contributing over on patreon.com/LagTV. Again, $1 or more over there gets you in to be able to ask us your questions, what news for the week that you might like us to cover, all of those things. And of course, big shout out to our ongoing sponsor, NordVPN. Just keeps the dream going. We will see you guys as always. Well, I'll say this for those who make it all the way to the end of this podcast. Anything between next week and February, I may be here, I may not be here, because it's either going to be I'm going to be tied up in some mandatory real estate thing that I have no choice to be to, or I have a child that enters the world, or both at the same time. And
Well, I
so
think we have to, one way or another, next week we have to get together, and we're gonna have to
We're gonna do
record
double
like 2 weeks
time.
of StarCraft.
yeah,
And then from there, it's going to be 2 weeks of no podcast for sure, because
Yeah.
the following Thursday, it's literally Christmas.
Yes.
And then it's New Year's.
yes,
So bang, bang. And then we'll be back, February 8th. So we'll try and probably get in a podcast next week, barring, nothing
Yeah, of course.
crazy.
but the StarCraft
But
stuff
then
will
after that,
crank
it's
out.
going to be 2 weeks, because even my, what I got going
Oh,
on,
nuts.
this is not going to happen.
yeah.
So next week we'll pile in all the content. We'll take a day out of it. We'll get it all done, and then we'll make sure that StarCraft is getting released all through into the new year, and then we'll be back on the 8th for the podcast. So next week, hopefully, we'll get a podcast in. I think we'll probably be good for that. And then the 25th and 1st, no deal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. And we'll
Yeah.
let you know. Keep posted on that Discord and on Patreon, and you'll know when it happens. Until then, thank you once again, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you soon. Stay safe out there. Have a good one. And peace.
Peace.